Okay, everyone, thank you very much for voting in that poll. Poll question today was what marketing worked best for you in 2012. As you can see there, networking led with 65%. In second place, we had good old-fashioned phone calls, the dreaded telemarketing at 14%. Social media down to 5%, websites down at 3%, and then, wow, looks like, Stuart, we had 13% of the people saying, what's marketing? So it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you.
I sure do.
Okay, I'm going to turn these things over to you, Stuart, and if you will go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll do a few housekeeping chores, and then we'll get started, okay?
Great. I still see the poll up there, Scott.
So yeah, I've got to. Yeah, that's always the one thing. That should have been my goal in 2013. Remember to close the poll.
No worries. Good day, everyone. Good morning for us people on the eastern part of North America. Good afternoon for those over the pond, as we say over here. And welcome to our webinar today with our annual one we seem to do this time of year with Scott and the team at GFI Max. It's really an honor and pleasure to serve the community again in this capacity. Like Scott mentioned, my name is Stuart Crawford, and I am the Chief Marketing Officer for Ulistic. And Ulistic is a team of 10 dedicated marketing professionals who are committed to helping MSPs build a successful business through marketing, sales, and business development. And we also do coaching on just general running an MSP business. So I think, Scott, I think you want to do some housekeeping before we actually get started?
Yeah, I think if you go ahead and start your screen sharing there, Stuart.
Oh, yeah, let me do that first. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So, yeah, everyone, so this will probably last about 30 or 40 minutes, and feel free to ask questions through the little chat, the chat interface right there. I'll just put a little hello to everyone in there. That's the chat interface. Type your question in there. If we don't, I might stop Stuart as he's going along if it's appropriate. If it's not, I will save it for the end. We are recording the webinar. Webinar is recording, and we'll have this available as well as the slides on MSPBusinessManagement.com website probably in about a week or so. You'll get an automated email from the GoToMeetings system, and that's really that's the major housekeeping task. And if you will go ahead and take it away, then Stuart.
Great, thanks, Scott, and welcome again, everyone. Stuart Crawford here with you. We're going to start with our webinar for today on marketing your MSP in 2013. I was not surprised by those poll results, and it really reinforced everything I kind of known going into 2012 last year and throughout the year, that although we all want to try to market our business online, still a lot of the old traditional ways of marketing our MSP are still the way that most of us get new business opportunities. Not saying, and not to discount the website and social media, they're all critically important to our overall business communication strategy. Networking and phone calls still continue to lead the way, and old-fashioned marketing still leads the way with a good web presence, social media, lending to your credibility as a business. You need to have all that good stuff. Like I said, I'm not surprised by those numbers. Before we get started, I'd like to all do me one favor here. I know you all have a web browser open, and I've been on many webinars as well. If you can go to ulistic.com/vote for me, and just click on that little aqua blue button that says vote. You're probably aware of the SWB 150. I like to get some additional votes for our cause here. Please go ahead and do that for me. That'll be wonderful. If you can.
Yeah, I just sent that link out in the chat interface there, Stuart.
Awesome,
so
thanks, Scott.
Just click on that.
One thing you're going to learn about marketing and sales, folks, you got to do the odd shameless plug every once in a while, and that's how people find out who you are and why companies come to you. So let's look at 2012. Now let's take a look and ask yourself honestly, how was your year last year? Were you down slightly? Were you flat, or were you up? And I don't want you to confuse making money with growth and revenue. Making money can also be made by remaining flat and also decreasing your expenses. So, how was your year last year? Were you up, down, sideways? Like all good stuff. And did you make some money last year? And how successful were you? It's great to look in the mirror and just ask yourself these questions. We all like to portray externally that we're doing great, and sometimes that's true in a lot of cases, but a lot of times we mask that externally. So ask yourself honestly, how, were you successful? And what critical lessons did you learn? Not just in marketing or sales, but generally running a business. What lessons did you learn? Did you improve all last year? Did you take some steps upwards? And that could be just a smallest step forward or a giant leap. When you're looking at your your year last year, what was your key highlight? Was it a key acquisition? Was it a brand new client that you brought in that was, that made your year? Was it a strategic hire? Was it a partnership? And from all the lessons that we learned, what did you change? And I'm sure a few of you are thinking, okay, Stuart, that's enough questions. I know we had a good year. I know we had a poor year. Let's get on with the content. And anyway, you need to look at your year last year and see how you did, because that's you got to set yourself a benchmark in order to move forward in building your 2013 strategy. Here's what I've seen across the MSP world and with the clients that I work with. What works and why. I want to first talk to you about where is infinityman.com or techtartar.com. Now, this was a managed service provider in Georgia who ran some very successful events. They actually had their first event of their 2013 scheduled this morning in Macon, Georgia. They had a very good turnout for it. But they ran these two websites, techtartar.com, and if you go to techtartar.com, you'll see it's closed, and if you click continue, we'll flip you over to where's infinityman.com. But the lesson I pulled out of this was the importance of having a theme in our marketing. So everything that Infinity Network Solutions is doing this year is going to be wrapped around Infinity Man. So they have a theme for all their marketing. Then the next thing around marketing and what worked in 2012 was the right corporate email marketing strategy. Now, in the poll results, we saw that website and social media was down. And one of the, I'm sure if we asked the question email marketing, we probably would get somewhere in the middle between networking and social media, I would gather. And companies who have a regular email marketing strategy were also seeing success in 2012. Now, that's not spam email. That's not going out and just sending emails for the sake. That's a deliberate corporate email strategy. Many of the people that I work with have gone away from a monthly newsletter, and they've divided their newsletter strategy into 3 different strategic emails. And I'm sure some of you are thinking back to, well, that's I hate getting all the abundance of email we're getting. You have to put yourself in your client's shoes. You may not like getting all these emails, but your clients and prospects want to be informed of what you're doing. And as long as it's educational and not over-the-top sales-ish, the corporate email strategy really, really works. The next thing that we learned in 2012 was a regular rhythm. Now, this is a challenge normally for smaller managed service providers who do what I call, marketing by accident or ad hoc marketing. They try one thing once, they go to a conference, and somebody says that, you got to do this, and they go back and do it once, and they have minimal success with it, and they abandon it. Those MSPs that I have worked with who have a regular rhythm with the marketing saw consistent month-over-month growth in their business related to marketing because they had a regular rhythm. What's that regular rhythm? We'll get into some details as we move forward here. The next step was completing what I call the Client Solution Index, or Client Service Solution Index. Now, this is a simple spreadsheet that talks about what your clients have and what your clients need. And you will get a copy of this spreadsheet at the completion of the webinar today, so you can go and do this yourself. And what some of my clients did is they just focused on marketing to those clients who already have bought things from them or used some of their services but don't have the complete library of services. So they've marketed their service offerings to their clients and picked up many thousands of dollars that was money left on the table. Then the next piece is what I call being strategically lucky. Now, being strategically lucky is basically putting yourself in the right place at the right time. Networking. You saw the importance of business networking. That is what I call being strategically lucky, going to a networking event and meeting the right person, and that person either becomes a good lead source for you or potentially a client. And then becoming a strategic resource for other people as well. That's being that that thought leader. And then last but not least, a focus on marketing, sales, service delivery. because marketing will get you in front of the door, in front of somebody. Good sales process will close the business, and an excellent service delivery model will repeat the cycle over again, going back to our client service solution index. So that's what we learned in 2012, and some of the things that some of the clients that I work with have continuously moved into 2013. So looking forward into this year, what significant changes in the market will occur this year? There's a lot of things going on. Let me just throw one out there, for example. So this is targeted more for our friends in the United States. I don't know if you've been keeping up, and if you got a healthcare type of a practice, or if you're not in healthcare, and for our friends in the UK and in Canada and wherever else in the world you are, you can learn from this as well. But the HHS in the United States is taking steps to go after smaller healthcare clinics for HIPAA violations. And we saw 3 or 4 examples in Idaho, Indiana, and I read this morning, and we actually blogged about this morning in California, where unencrypted laptops are being, compromised or stolen with thousands of HIPAA compliant records or HIPAA or patient records on there. So we learn from this kind of stuff, and that's an area in the market that MSPs can capitalize on. And I don't care if you're healthcare or not, focusing on unencrypted data as a market is something that we can go after. So being attentive to what's going on in the marketplace is important for us to pick directions in which we want to go to. The next thing is a SWOT analysis. I believe every company should do one in December, January timeframe. Just understand where your strengths, weaknesses are, and what opportunities and threats are out there in the marketplace. And what do you need to do differently in order to keep up the momentum as you move forward? And then last but not least, set yourself a goal for 1 year from today where you'd love to see your company, and then work backwards from there. It's important to have a big, hairy, audacious goal, the BHAG. That's important, but carve it off in those smaller sections, 1 year, quarter from now, and work yourself backwards and taking what you need to do to take those steps.
Hey, Stuart, I know we did have one question that
Sure.
I think probably, somebody was basically asking what a SWOT analysis was. And for those who don't know the term, if you want to just mention it real briefly.
Sure. A SWOT analysis is, and I'm sure you can go Google and get templates and all that for it. A SWOT analysis is basically understanding what your company's strengths are and what your company weaknesses are. Those are the strengths and weaknesses are internal. So if you're good at, if your company does really well at, Windows Server or email security or, healthcare, and then your weaknesses may be, a lack of mobility knowledge. Those are strengths and weaknesses. And the opportunities and threats are external. What opportunities are out there in the marketplace? Well, I just talked about one about HIPAA compliance audits and things like that. And
right.
What threats are out there? Microsoft Cloud or some other cloud service out there that may become a threat to your business, or even a new competitor that starts up. So strengths and weaknesses are internal. Opportunities and threats are external forces out there. Hope that answers that question, Scott.
Okay, thanks.
So here's an old thing. I'm sure if you heard me speak in the past, you heard me talk about this, is your success as a managed service provider is directly tied to how well you outmarket your competition. Simple. You could be the greatest technical company out there, and you sit back and wonder why the schmucks down the street are continuously winning new opportunities when you are technically, more, more technically skilled than what your competitors are. But you wonder why they still get their share of the business, because they understand the role of marketing, and they're out marketing you, plain and simple. That's that's a secret of success, is how well you outmarket your competition. And then successful managed service providers understand this as well. They are marketing and sales organizations first, and technical organizations second. They basically, when I'm doing my managed services workshops across the country, I always tell the people in attendance this, is that you need to be a marketing organization that conducts sales operations to deliver technical services. Plain and simple. Microsoft, for example, is a sales and marketing organization that happens to sell and market operating systems and productivity software. Dell is a marketing and sales organization that happens to market and sell computers, firewalls, servers, you name it. That is how the successful organizations see themselves. Look at your organization. Are you a technical organization first, and then happen to do some sales and marketing every once in a while, or are you a sales and marketing organization where everything that you do is sales and marketing to drive opportunities and leads into your company? And that's a little bit for some of us, and that was a big reframe in my thinking I had to do back in 2004 when I had IT Matters in Calgary, Canada, which was we were a really good technical organization, scratching your head why we were getting outbid and outmarketed in the local Calgary market at that time. And then the other area of this is you must understand what businesses want from you. We all go to conferences and we attend workshops, and somebody stands in front of the room and says you need to be in healthcare and you need to be offering mobile device management, you need to have cloud offerings. That's all great, and that's really at the end of the day that we should have some offerings around that. But do you really know what your clients, prospects, and suspects want from your MSP business? And do you want to know what that secret word is to find out all this stuff, what it is? You have to ask them. A lot of my clients right now are going through the process where they are sending out emails and surveys to their top clients, or some of them are even building client advisory councils or panels where they bounce ideas off their top clients and say, here's what we're thinking about doing. Do you think you would buy that service if we offered it? Or what would you change, or how would we approach that? They're getting quality feedback, because what we think or what we're told at conferences may not necessarily be true. And the worst offenders for this are Gartner Research and all that stuff that says you need to have a healthcare practice, or you need to do this, you need to do that. Take that research, look at it and evaluate it, and then go and ask your clients. So, we're thinking about putting a service together that does cloud backup. Would that be something that you would be interested in? Yes or no? If not, why not? If yes, what benefits does that bring to your business? Understand what the market wants from you, and then build your marketing strategy around what people are willing to pay for. You might get some great feedback and some eye-opening feedback if you conduct this exercise instead of trying to assume what the market wants from your MSP business. And then the last secret formula to success, folks, is this. You know what? There isn't one. There is no magic pill, silver bullet, or whatever. It really just is 80% of success. The 180, 90, whatever, how many people are on this webinar today, you've shown up. That's 80% of 80% of success is just showing up. And then the other 20% is doing the work.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think that's a Woody Allen quote too.
Yeah, exactly. I had a call this morning with a guy in the Middle East, a coaching client of mine in the Middle East, and we this really just hit home with him. And the other thing was we were talking about hiring engineers and salespeople and marketing people. And so, at the end of the day, I would rather hire somebody who has a lot of passion versus somebody who has the technical aptitude with no passion.
Yeah, exactly.
So somebody's willing to do the work. That's the most important piece, showing up and then doing the work.
Yeah.
So, Scott, before I move into the 2013 marketing strategy, is there any questions for anybody on the call so far?
Well, actually, Edgar was asking. You were mentioning the HHS article. Where can we find that article? I'll send around the link.
I think healthcareitnews.com is the source that I go to for a lot of healthcare-related articles.
Okay, I'll send that around.
Yeah, that's if you're not a member of that mailing list, that's do healthcare. That's a great resource to have in your back pocket.
Okay, yeah, I'll send that around. And we just wanted to congratulate Anthony Martini. Apparently had a really good year last year, landed a bunch of new clients, and he said one of the things they did was they ran some seminars.
Yeah, well, event marketing is huge, and if you do it right,
yeah.
I'm going to talk about that in a second here, but event marketing is great.
Yeah, but feel free to go ahead and ask your questions now, everyone, and I'll put them into the queue, and then we'll get them to Stuart at the end of his.
Great, and I just want to do a quick time check. We're still on pace here, Scott.
Yeah. Yep.
Great. All right. Let's talk about 2013 and our marketing strategy. So I divide marketing into 6 critical areas that we need to really focus on. The number one area, and almost the most important area too, is make sure everyone on your team knows the strategy for the organization. Make sure they're on the bus, in lack of a better term. And what that means is that, and I've had this happen to me, is engineers didn't know our corporate strategy, our corporate vision, our marketing, marketing strategy for the year. And a client would ask them questions, and they would not know the proper answer. And that really stung when I realized that clients were asking our engineers questions, and they didn't have the tools needed to either properly take that information and send it back to me as the marketing manager or the VP of Business Development at the time, or outright they just said, no, we don't do that kind of stuff. And and I'm thinking, well, we do. We actually have a part of our business that does that. So you need to make sure everyone is on the bus. So some of the things you can do there, folks, to really make sure that it happens, and it's very simple. And you can be, if you're a small organization, right up to a large organization, is have regular lunch and learns with your team, and everybody is on the team has to be present. So the marketing people need to be sitting in there, especially when technical companies come in to do show technicians how to technically use a piece of equipment. The marketing and sales team need to be present in that too, so they understand what the capacity of that piece of equipment is, or that product is, or that service is, so that when they're out there talking to people, they know what the limitations are, or what the product and service can do. Have everybody involved in the training. Now, you're going to carve out areas where they don't have to be involved, but everybody needs to be part of that training. And I know a lot of companies have tech lunches, and they have sales meetings. Everybody needs to be involved, and even if it's just a weekly huddle with the whole team. And of course, as the company gets larger, that gets more and more of a challenge. But it's important to have that face time with everybody, and arm your team with all the tools that they need. So successful marketing companies have a central library with all the sales flicks, client testimonials, technical spotlights, press releases, so that if an engineer asks a question, they can go and search through this library and pull off information without having to get the marketing team involved every single time. They're going to want, of course, the marketing and sales team to be in the loop, but you don't want to, limit that person's capability. So have everybody on the bus and make sure they have access to the team, and then make sure the engineers and the staff know that if they have a question that they don't know the answer for, what the proper answer would be. And this happened to me many a time, Scott, and it's often embarrassing sometimes, is that when an engineer asks a question and they just say, no, we don't do that. What we actually started doing is actually reframing our engineers' thinking around that and say, if they're asked a question that that it's something that we don't do, the correct answer is, let me check with let me check with Stuart Crawford, our marketing person, or such and such a person, and one of us will get back to you. Because often we had a strategic partner who paid us annuity-based income if we sent them a lead, even if it's something outside of our normal day-to-day practice. So number one part of your marketing strategy needs to make sure your team is fully aware of everything you do, and then everybody's involved so they know what's going on. The next area is, what about your existing clients? We already spoke about the importance of the Client Service Solution Index, which is a basic spreadsheet that talks about the shares, what clients have and what clients need. Often we want to go out and kill new, hunt for new things, and go for the kill with new clients and prospects. And we often forget about our existing clients. Most MSPs have money left on the table at their existing clients. And if you can honestly answer the question and say that, we have every one of our solutions installed at our clients, great, you can skip over this part, but you need to make sure your existing clients are fully aware of everything that you do. Because this happens as well. You walk into a new client and you see a brand new photocopier sitting there, and you ask them and say, hey, when did you get that? We supply photocopiers and that kind of higher end print stuff, and the client says, well, if I would have known, I would have bought it from you. And so make sure your existing clients are fully aware of everything that you do. So some strategies around that is back to events. Make sure sometimes it's good to have client-only events so that your client's fully aware of everything that you do. You know, forget about prospects and suspects. Just get your regular clients into an event, and that could be very fruitful. Other things that you can do is in your corporate newsletter, make sure you have a corporate newsletter that maybe just targeted at existing clients only. Or have regular communication with your existing clients, and do that service solution index. Quarterly business reviews and those type of meetings with your clients are great opportunities for you to get in front of clients and talk about everything that you do. Direct mail and those type of things. Send your clients postcards and offerings about everything that you do. Let them be fully aware of everything. The trick here, folks, make sure your existing clients are fully aware of everything that you do. And then when you mastered that, then you go out and prospect for new business. What are you going to do to prospect for new business? We always, in the poll, we thought networking was great, referrals were great. There's a lot of that telemarketing services, all great. And if that's going out and prospecting for new business, and those are some of the strategies that we can employ to prospect for new business. Telemarketing, and I actually have a presentation that I do on the your 5-day in telemarketing process. That if you email me after the presentation, I'll make sure you get a copy of that. And it's basically a combination of direct mail, telemarketing, and booking meetings. And this is something that you can do internally without having to outsource telemarketing if you want to keep it in-house and maybe master it internally. There's a lot of things you can do to prospect for new business, and we're all pretty much up to speed on things we could do there: networking, telemarketing, direct mail, social media, website, search engine optimization, all that stuff that nets us new business opportunities. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. To me, it's not as important as making sure your existing clients have everything that they need from you. That's an easier sell most of the time because they've already bought stuff and use your services today. They'll be more open to meeting with you. Prospects for your new business is important, and you need to keep that sales pipeline full with new opportunities because they become existing clients that you can resell to down the road. But it's one of those things that a lot of us start with, and to me, it's not the most important thing to start with. The fourth area of our marketing plan is your local community involvement. Now, this is talking about your involvement in the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe it's a Rotary Club, Habitat for Humanity, a service organization. Maybe you're volunteering at your local church. These are areas that you get involved with that are not direct marketing. You don't go to a Rotary Club and hope to get business from it. Although that does happen, it's more of the relationship and the involvement in the community, where you start to get to meet a lot of the decision makers out there. I always tell a story, Scott, when I was a community story I share is I used to sit on the Calvary Flames Foundation, which is a nonprofit that helped kids in the local community, and now we get involved in some of the Calvary Flames Foundation events. And I met 3 or 4 of my best clients ever who were CEOs of companies who I would not normally get exposure to, but we all shared that common bond of helping in the community. So that really, that's a chance for you to get, rub shoulders with decision makers, and you have a common interest, and that often knocks down some of those barriers of entry.
Right.
Then the next area is your media relations. Now, when I talk, the local media can be your strongest ally, and the media is hungry for subject matter experts. So let's use an example. In Canada, I read an article today that the average Canadian spends 45 hours a day on the internet. 45 hours a month on the internet. So a lot of my Canadian clients, I've pitched that story to their local media and become a resource. Now, some of them are going to get interviewed and some won't, but that pitch may result in other, opportunities to get some publicity from the local media. let me share a story with Enrique Reese, who runs a company called Reese Information Systems in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Enrique opened up a small little data center in Kitchener. I'm talking small, half a rack, folks, nothing to write home about. We wrote up a press release and sent it off to all the local media about him opening up this data center in Kitchener. It's a little half rack. He got interviewed by the Kitchener Record, had a full-page spread on the January 8th business section in the Kitchener Record, in the Kitchener Waterloo Record. Totally unrelated to his data center, but they wanted his expertise on cloud technologies. That's an example of pitching to the media and using the media to help break down some of those barriers as well. So in your marketing strategy, you need to have a media section and what you're going to do to, crack into the local media. And then last but not least is don't forget about your partners. So the folks at GFI, Microsoft, all your partners that you work with, from big corporate ones to the smallest ones. Just like you have your team on the bus, make sure you have your partners on the bus so that guys like Scott know what your MSP does, what your services are. So just in case he happens to be talking to somebody and they say, I'm really looking for an IT company in, Liverpool, England. He say, well, I know 3 or 4 people in Liverpool, England that I can refer over to you. Make sure they are on the bus as well. So some of the ways we accomplish this is adding our vendor partners onto our newsletter distribution list, or even starting a separate one where we share how we're using our vendor services to win new business opportunities. I was at the Microsoft Partner Conference in Minneapolis several years ago, and Steve Ballmer was standing up on the front of the stage, and he basically said, I want to know what every partner of you in the room are doing with our Microsoft technologies. There were some 10,000 partners in the room that day. I opened up my constant contact and immediately added Steve B at Microsoft.com to my constant contact. He got every newsletter, WinWire, customer success story, project spotlight, everything that we did, he got informed of. Now that may be out there, but let's bring it back a little closer to home. My Microsoft rep or my GFI rep was also on that distribution list. I would have regular meetings with them and tell them everything that we're doing. I shared my pipeline openly with all my strategic partners and made sure they were completely in the loop of everything we did. What that also helped, folks, is when we wanted to get marketing distribution funds from our partners, we demonstrated we had the technical abilities, and we had them aligned. We had all of our marketing efforts aligned with what our vendors were doing. So there's, in these 6 points here, there's much more detail and depth we can go into. Not, too much depth to go into for, a 30 to 40-minute webinar today. I just want you to start thinking about the 6 areas you have in your marketing strategy as you go into 2013, and we're a month into it, so you're not too far behind. But if you wait another month, you're going to be further behind than you are today. And then, when you have a lead, you need to execute your 12-step sales and marketing process. So these are things like your marketing kit. Do you have a marketing kit established? What does a marketing kit look like? Do you have videos done up for your MSP? Comfort letters, and you're thinking, what's a comfort letter? Well, comfort letter has, there's 2 sets of comfort letters. One is from a vendor, like a manufacturer, like GFI, and the second would be from your local organization, like your Chamber of Commerce, Rotary Club, anything involved in the local community. I have a webinar. If you go to ulistic.com/12 steps that you can watch, and it'll walk you through the 12 steps. And this is my clients who implement these 12 steps are seeing a lot more success on their sales side of things. So you go ahead and watch that, and we'll make sure that at the end of this, Scott, that all this stuff is available to those who want to take it to the next level.
Yeah, I've sent around the link, so everybody should get that link now.
Excellent. And then, so what do you need to have ready? Things that can go into your marketing kit, for example. Well, client success stories. When was the last time that you wrote a story about the work that you've done for your clients? Technical spotlights. Still in this day, people are looking for people who have expertise in a certain type of technology. Do you have your one-page service sheets done up? Do you have your press coverage easily available? So if you need to print off 3 or 4 examples of you being in the local paper or online publications. Scripted emails, so that you can send out an email randomly when you have 10 or 15 minutes to kill. I call them red light emails when you're stuck at a red light and you want to send an email to somebody. Videos. Do you have videos done of all your solutions? Testimonial letters, comfort letters. You see, there's a lot of stuff to do here, folks, and this all becomes part of your marketing kit. And I believe that every one of these has equal weight of importance. And then last but not least, when the whole world is going in one direction, go opposite. I learned from a friend of mine, his name's Carl Bryan. Carl taught me this important thing earlier in my career. He says, you're going to make more money being different than trying to be better than your competition. So when the competition is going BDR, healthcare, BYOD, I think ask your clients what they want and go in that direction. Start thinking differently. I put down Valentine's Day as an example. Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Do you have a marketing activity planned around Valentine's Day, either an event or a direct mail piece to your clients? It sounds corny, but send a direct mail piece to your clients saying how much you love having them as a client, or even prospects, how much you'd love to have them as a new client. Somebody mentioned events. I believe events are a great way to build an active sales pipeline. Yeah, webinars are great, and events like this are fantastic when everybody's geographically spread out. But your local market, think about having face-to-face events and do it in a unique way. Like the folks in Macon, Georgia with their Where's Infinity Man. There's another client of mine in Indianapolis that I'm working with. We're doing a March Madness event at the NCAA Hall of Champions. What a great event. Do March Madness around that. People will come to your event if it's worthwhile for them to get out of their office and drive, especially in some of the metropolitan areas, through all the traffic, weather, whatever it is. If you want to get people at an event, make it a unique experience. Just having it in a regular hotel room talking about backup and disaster recovery may not net you the result that you want. Make it something special that people want to come to. And then consistency. Marketing doesn't work when you just do it once. It takes 7 to 12 touches before somebody even picks up the phone and talks to you. So what are you doing to get those 7 to 12 touches done? That's important. Regular, consistent marketing will eventually pay off huge rewards for you. And last but not least, don't be afraid to try new things. I use email marketing as an example here because most of us don't like to get a bunch of emails, and that stops us from doing email marketing. Or, something that we don't like, it stops us from, taking those steps to do something that's going to work. So sometimes you have to take your own limitations away, and just, even if you don't like it, you have to do it. So don't be afraid to try, and also don't be afraid to try new things. And then at the end of the day, give your clients what they want, and educate them on what they don't know. And last but not least, become someone they trust. When all things are equal, people will refer business to or do business with those people that they know, like, and trust. And trust is a key word there. Nobody will hand over money to you until they trust you. That's the key. And then, what are some of the next steps that you can do? Do you want to see some examples of what we shared to this webinar? You want to copy these slides, need some help? If you go to www.ulistic.com/GFIRocks, you can fill out the form there. We will email you the examples of the Client Service Solution Index, the testimonial letters, comfort letters, all that stuff that we have done up. You get examples of that. If you need some help, don't be afraid to reach out to us. We're not going to go and say, yeah, call us. If you're ready for help, we're here to help you. We want to help those managed service providers who want to be helped. So if you're one of those type of people, give us a holler. And then Scott, I'll let you talk about your upcoming webinars.
Okay, thanks, Stuart. Yeah, we've got a couple webinars coming up in the next couple of months here. Next month, we're going to have a case study on adding hardware as a service to your MSP offerings, and then in March, we're going to have Harmon Poole from Vertical Axion here, who's going to show us the 5 secret roadblocks keeping you from your marketing goals. I'll go ahead and let me add those to our, I'll send those links around too. There's Stuart. And if you could go ahead and go to the next slide there.
Sure. By the way, Harmon Poole is an excellent resource to have as well in marketing. You know, there's a few of us great guys. He's one of the top-notch ones as well out there.
All right, excellent. Yeah, it should be a good one. So looking forward to both of those coming up. Those links are now in your GoToMeeting. As I said, my name is Scott Colonico. I'm the editor of MSPBusinessManagement.com, which is an MSP resource website that we're trying to put out. It's got articles, some templates on how to help run your MSP business, MSP news. Every Friday, I kind of do a retro, kind of a fun retro computer session, which I put out a picture of like an old-time Sinclair or something, talk a bit about it a little bit, have a little fun. Then you can find our Facebook, and then we're on the Twitter there, so you can get a hold of us. We're going to be doing a website redesign, kind of make it a little more user-friendly, so that will be coming on later on, probably in Q1 somewhere. So MSP Business Management, come on by, stop by, say hi, and we're there for you. And that's where this webinar will be posted. We'll post the webinar. It'll probably be about a week or so before I can get around to it, and you'll get an email from the GoToMeeting software where you can download that. So I guess without further ado, Stuart, let's take some questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready, sir. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Anthony was asking if there are any specific references to healthcare IT resources for the long-term care industry that you know of?
I'm not sure of any off the top of my head, long-term. Yeah, the healthcare IT news is one that I subscribe to. But I'm sure if you Google some, you'll find some. You know, one of the things I could recommend to them is LinkedIn groups.
Okay.
If you go on LinkedIn groups and do a search inside the groups, you may find some groups out there that are targeted to that particular part of the industry.
Okay, excellent. Let's see. Robert was asking, okay, this is a long one. You ready? Are you sitting down?
I'm ready.
Okay. He's asking for what's a concrete example of out-marketing the competition? He says many companies already have an IT company that they are moderately satisfied with. What type of marketing have you seen as strong enough to make a company switch IT provider?
Well, you know, Scott, here's the truth. You know, most people that you talk to are going to be happy with their existing IT company until the day that they're not.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and so that's the trick, folks. Is, you know, that's why I say consistency in our marketing. You know, monthly newsletters to your prospects and suspects, monthly direct mail pieces, telemarketing, because you don't know that day that, you know, they have an issue and the IT company is not resolving it. Maybe they have a nagging server issue that causes the server to reboot every day at lunchtime for the last month, and they're getting fed up that this is happening. That, if you don't call them, you may miss your opportunity to, you know, they might just say, hey, you know what, this company, ABC Computer Systems, has been marketing to us for the last year. Let's get them in here for a try. So, you know, that's the thing is, if you know, there's 3 areas that we need to focus on, you know, when it comes to, you know, winning new business. And most companies do fall into one of these 3 categories. One, they have an internal guy who may be, you know, just drowning in, you know, in issues and can't keep up. So they need the help of an MSP to help with that. 2, they have an existing IT company. And 3 is they still have their brother's uncle taking care of their computer systems.
Mm-hmm. So
consistency is going to win out every time over one-off. And that's the example of out-marketing the competitors, is just doing that consistent touch and different touches. So maybe one month it may be telephone, next month it may be direct mail, next one might be email, or what a lot of companies do is a combination of all three. They start, and this is what my 5-step telemarketing process is all about. Is on Monday you send out a direct mail piece. On Thursday you do follow-up phone calls, and the week after you have you hope to try to get a meeting. But that's what I mean by out-marketing the competitors, is doing something all the time.
Okay, excellent. Let's see, Joe here, I think this is pretty relevant. He was asking, as a small IT provider making our way from break-fix to MSP cloud solutions, he's asking, what software do you recommend for managing marketing and sales pipelines? Anything that you use consistently?
Well, your PSA, so your AutoTask, ConnectWise, TigerPaw works really well. From an email marketing, I would highly recommend iContact. I used to be a strong Constant Contact user, but I find iContact to be just a little bit better from the email marketing perspective. But nothing better than managing all this than your PSA or CRM solution.
Okay, yeah, excellent. Let's see, here's one from Patrice. He's saying, my company is small and the decision maker is used to doing business with people that he knows. How can I, using a strong, specific marketing strategy, impress upon him the importance in stepping outside his comfort zone and the importance of having tools such as Customer Kit, as you mentioned in the presentation?
Can you repeat that one more time, Scott, so I fully understand it?
Yeah. My company is small and the decision maker is used to doing business with people that he knows. How can I, using a strong and specific marketing strategy, impress upon him the importance in stepping outside his comfort zone and the importance of having tools such as Customer Kit, as you mentioned in the presentation?
So I think if I hear this question correctly, this is probably a salesperson inside of a company that the business owner has been used to doing business with his colleagues and people that he knows. Here's what I say to sales professionals who struggle with this, is that you need to treat your own sales activities as like you're running your own business. So you may want to take that up on yourself and just do this kind of stuff so that you have the tool to go out there and identify new opportunities that are not known to the decision maker or the owner of the company. You want to technically become your own, lack of better terms, your own business owner, but you're just working in a sales capacity for somebody else. Now, a good leader will never limit a sales professional from reaching their capacity. Ones that are unsure and lack confidence are going to push back and say, why are you doing this kind of stuff? I generate all the opportunities here. I've seen that before too. And if you're a sales professional working for another company, you really want to take ownership on that. And me as a business owner, I will never limit a sales professional from going out and generating money for me as an owner.
Okay, excellent. Let's see, Frank here had a question. Well, we'll come back to Frank's. But Roy had a question here. What's the difference between a comfort letter compared to a testimonial?
So a testimonial is your client telling you that, you know what, hey, ABC Computer Systems does great work. They helped us with an Exchange migration, and there was no downtime, and everybody just continued to work. That's a testimonial. A comfort letter is, let's say it's you, Scott. You're a partner rep for one of the members on the call today. I would write a comfort letter and say that ABC Computer Systems has been a long-standing partner in the GFI Max program, and as a member in this program, they adhere to strict, performance guidelines, professionalism, and as their partner manager, I highly recommend this company as your IT organization. So it's almost like an endorsement letter from a partner or somebody in the local community versus a client actually saying, you guys are great, and here's what you do.
Okay, excellent. And to address Frank's question, you mentioned a spreadsheet that you were going to make available. How do people get a hold of that?
If they go to that ulistic.com/GFIRocks, they'll fill out the form, and they'll receive an email from me with a zip file with everything in it.
Okay, so that'll be okay. So that's how you can get a hold of that, everyone. And what's your, just for everybody, so everybody has it, what's your email address, Stuart?
The best way to reach me is info@ulistic.com.
Okay, excellent. And then one, couple quick ones here. David was wanting to know is what's your opinion of why do you like eye contact versus MailChimp? Which one do you prefer using?
MailChimp is free for 2,000 subscribers and less, I do believe. My professional, they all do the same thing, basically. They all do the same thing. I just happen to find the interface on eye contact easy to use. The support at eye contact is great, but it's I have a few clients that use MailChimp and a few people that use Constant Contact. It's just preference. I prefer eye contact over the three of them.
Okay, and that I think we had a couple people asking about that. It's the link, Gary and a couple other people. It's Ulistic, ulistic.com/GFI rocks. That's where you can get a hold of that information there if you'll fill that out. Let's see if we can finish up here with one more. Let's get a little philosophical here, Stuart, and I saw a pretty good one here. What do you think? Let me see. There's a good one here. There we go. Okay, Bass is asking you, what do you think about the future of MSPs? Are we going to lose clients in the cloud?
No, I don't think so. I think our model, how we deliver services, is going to change to be more of a CIO type of person, an advisor, not so much a box pusher, or as my friends in the UK call it. I learned that when I was over there this year, a tin pusher.
Okay.
I think our model is going to change to the point where we become that advisor, that technology, that business advisor with an expertise on technology. No different than a business advisor is a lawyer or an accountant. I just think the model that we do today is going to change.
Okay.
Just like you know what? I don't change jumpers on IFA cards anymore either.
Okay. Anthony wanted to chime in and said that people call in the States, you call somebody pushing tin, you're an air traffic controller.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Looks like a couple of people had some problems with the phone number field on the form, Stuart, so I don't know if you want to take a look at that.
Maybe because are they overseas from the UK, maybe?
Yeah, maybe if it's from the UK, that's what...
Yeah, for our friends over in the UK, give me 10 minutes after the call and try it again, and we'll take some of those, maybe a limitation on U.S. numbers in there.
Yeah, same thing. It looks like Ireland having the same problem, too.
Yeah, so just give us 10 minutes after the completion of the webinar and try it again, and we'll make sure that's fixed.
Okay, yeah. So if everybody just give it about 10 minutes, so he'll take a look at that. And
or you know what? If worse comes to worse, I'm not going to call you. Just put in 555-555-555, 10 fives, and that should work as well.
Okay, that sounds great. All right, well, I want to thank you very much, Stuart. Any closing thoughts?
No, I just think I like that last question we got is around the our clients are looking to us to advise them on everything that they need to do on technology. Ask them what their business goals are and what they want to achieve this year, just like I asked you what you want to achieve this year, and then come up with technologies and solutions that are going to fulfill those goals. And it's important to listen to what people like myself and other people on conferences tell you, but take that back and put that into terms that your clients and the community that you serve are going to use. And that's the number one thing I can give you is just ask your clients what's important to them and develop your strategies around what's important to your clients.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, Stuart Crawford from Ulistic, for being here. I've sent links around everyone. You should be able to click on those links in the chat interface, so you can go to Stuart's website. You can fill out the forms. I want to thank everyone for coming here. I want to thank Stuart Crawford for being here. And just watch your email box probably in the next week or so. You'll get that link from GoToMeeting with a link to the slides and the presentation.
And don't forget to vote, ulistic.com/vote.
There you go. Don't forget to vote. Plug away, Stuart.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.